Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video we are going to talk about common cases in which memory leak happens and how can we avoid them and what is the correct way to declare or I should say how to dynamically allocate memory for pointers, and that is some people know them as the new and delete operators. Okay, so before we get started, please, if you enjoy this video, if you learn a thing or two, please feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any suggestions or you want me to make a video on a certain topic, please drop that in the comment section. Okay, so first, let's start by talking about the correct way, and that is, let's say we want to create an integer pointer, and that pointer is going to we're just going to give them one space in the memory. So when you are finished or when you're done using this pointer, you go ahead and release the memory that it is pointing to. This is the correct way. Now, one obvious case in which you can mess up is when you go ahead, create a pointer, and you forget to free the memory. So what does that mean? That means that you are going to cause a memory leak in your application. Now, obviously, the effects of memory leaks is different from one application to another. That depends also on many factors, such as how often that block of code is getting executed, is getting called. It depends, right? Let's look at another case. Let's look Let's say you have an integer pointer. I know we're being repetitive here. And then let's give it 10 spaces in memory, and let's create another one. Or actually, yeah, so what do we do here? We give it 10 spaces in memory, that is 40 bytes, because as we know an integer is 4 bytes. And then let's say now we want to go ahead and give the same pointer 20 spaces in memory, right? And then after we're done, we go ahead and free up the memory it's pointing to in this way. Now, a lot of people might do this and they might see this and they think this is fine. But actually, this is not fine. So what's happening here is that you are allocating 10 spaces, which is you are allocating 40 bytes, and here you are allocating 40 bytes, here you're allocating 80 bytes. So when you go ahead and allocate these 80 bytes, those 40 bytes are lost. So when you do this, now you are releasing the 80 bytes here, but you are not releasing the 40 bytes that you allocated here. So the correct way to fix this would be to go ahead and release it here before you go ahead and initialize it or go ahead and allocate different memory space for it again. Um, okay, so this is a common way. A lot of people, a lot of people confuse this. It's very easy to just go ahead and miss this. Let's look at a different different case. Let's say you do have an integer pointer 3, and then let's give it spaces, and then let's say we have another one, and pointer 4 equal new int 10. Okay, now let's say pointer 4 is pointing to pointer 3. So let's talk about what we just did. We simply just created the pointer, give it it's what's it called, 20 bytes. This one has 40 bytes, right? And then pointer 4 is pointing at the memory address of pointer 3. So let's say we go ahead and free up the space that pointer 4 is pointing at. So what are we doing? Now pointer 4 is pointing at pointer 3. So then when you go ahead and free up the space that of pointer 4, you are freeing up the 20 bytes, not the 40 bytes, the 20 bytes. So what does that mean about the 40 bytes? The 40 bytes are lost forever. Now this causes a memory leak. And then let's say you want to go ahead and free up the space that pointer 3 is pointing at. This can cause issues, undefined behavior, because pointer 3, you already released the 20 bytes that pointer 3 is pointing at. So this is undefined behavior. So you always want to make sure is that um, you want to look at the root pointer that you are pointing at, and when you release the memory of one pointer, you want to make sure that the other pointer does the same thing, right? So when you have a pointer that is pointing to another pointer, you want to look at the root pointer and verify that that root pointer is not null. Okay, now let's look at a different way. Different thing. Let's look at int pointer 5 and then new int and then so in this case, if you want to release the memory allocated to pointer 5, you do this by pointer 5, not by using the brackets, because you only allocated one space in the memory. And if you are releasing the memory that pointer 6 is pointing at, you want to use brackets because it is pointing at multiple spaces in the memory. If you go ahead and do this, this is wrong because you're not releasing everything. So yeah, so just to reiterate about what we explained in this video, this is the correct way. When you go ahead and use the new operator, you do have to release the memory using the delete operator. This only has one space in memory, so that is 4 bytes. We go ahead and release the 4 bytes. Uh, This is a wrong way because we did not release the memory that's pointing to. This is a wrong way too. Why is that? Because now this is the right way because we are releasing it. But let's say we go ahead and allocate 40 bytes for it, and then allocate here 80 bytes, and then if we go ahead and delete the 80 bytes, then the 40 bytes are gone forever. So you have to make sure that you are releasing those 40 bytes in the beginning. Another wrong way is when you go ahead and have one pointer, another pointer, and then this pointer is pointing to the other pointer, and then you go ahead and you release the memory allocated to this, and then you try to access that memory, is going to cause a undefined behavior, and it could also cause a crash, and we obviously don't want that. And this is another wrong case of wrong way of using it, and that is by if you declare only one space in memory, and then you want to use it without the brackets, and if you declare more than one, then you want to use the brackets. Okay, so we have reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, you learned a thing or two, please feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.